One of the problems about greatness is you need to realize it with kindness and goodness. So it's no good being great at accounting or being great with money if you're not kind and thoughtful. It's no good being great at charm. Of course, that was Ghislaine Maxwell. The great with money was Epstein. The great with sort of national awards with he was awarded medals by Montgomery during the war. This was Robert Maxwell, a victim of the Holocaust who escaped and made a new life, and seems to have been consumed by anger, maybe resentment at what had happened to his family in Czechoslovakia. But he remade himself, and his ability seems not to have been tempered with any kindness, and he seems to have passed this tray on to Ghislaine, whose charm seems not to have been tempered by thoughts for others. These poor girls who were victimized, and this, as I say, has this spiraling effect where everyone is damaged. And when you look back at the biographies of Maxwell, you look back at a man who treated his family appallingly. This was abuse. The fact that it was abused by somebody who was rich doesn't make it any less abusive. It was horrific. It was overwhelming. And yet we look at Ghislaine Maxwell's siblings, and they seem remarkably normal and sane. And yet, what's the difference? She was the favoured daughter. He even named his boat after her, the boat that he jumped off or was pushed off or chose to commit suicide off. We don't know what happened to him. We don't know really how he died. But yet, after she fled to the US on Concorde, she was then ready to defend him. But her brothers had to come to terms with their father's fraud. They faced 5 years of court and litigation. And she, in contrast, made a new start with a man who was rich and socially maladroit and appeared to need her charm, who lived who lived a life of privilege, who lied his way into wealth and influence. So she went from one deceiver to another deceiver. Her father was a unique criminal character, and I think she was scarred for life. Ghislaine Maxwell will go down as as a particularly damaged character, damaged by her father who bullied her and humiliated his own children, all of them. But he isolated her as special. They all may have rationalized that abuse, but it was abuse nevertheless. And what comes from abuse, is more abuse. And we're looking at this, the concentric circles, like throwing a stone in a pond, and what we get is more destruction, more abuse, and we have to draw a line, and we have to inject into the system some kindness, some heart, some goodness. Anyway, I made a few videos about the Maxwell situation, and probably I won't make any more. So there we are. There's a whole stack of thoughts that need to be unwrapped, unpicked. And please do leave your comments, but do try and be kind, because remember, there's not only Ghislaine Maxwell involved in this. There's also the victims. There's a huge number of victims, many of whom are nameless. And there's also her wider family, and these people are innocent of her crime, and we should respect that. So please do follow the channel, and please ring the bell, and I look forward to hearing what you've got to say.